Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
It's Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports on a Victory Monday. The Bears 2-2 going into the bye after that shocking 25-24 victory. We're still now having slept on it and having consumed that 40-40 tie for which many of us stayed up last night.
Just like I predicted, by the way.
Yes, you did. I know. You said
so
the
entire
Cowboys
will be in this game. They're going to give it a run against the Packers. The Packers aren't what we thought they were.
I believe you said, instead of boat raced, you said motor boated. You said they would somehow get motor boated.
Yes.
Was that scoregami, by the way, 40-40 tie? Has that ever happened before in the NFL?
No.
No, as far as we know. Whatever it was, we watched it, and there it was, and the Bears are where they are. And we are packed with stuff today, so thank you for joining us, as always. We have the Bears' victory and current situation to digest. The Cubs are going to start the playoffs tomorrow afternoon, so we're going to look at their season and break down the possibilities. Got some thoughts on the White Sox as well. That happened, whatever this season was, and I want to just look over a little bit of White Sox optimism. Yeah, I said optimism.
Okay.
The Bulls roster is out. The Bulls roster is bad, but the Bulls roster is out. And I'm just going to run down these names for you.
Sox, Bulls. Okay.
And then as promised, we both saw one battle after another, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And I was compelled to get up and go on Saturday, and I did, and I'm going to tell you what I think about that today.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it. I consumed it trying to look at it through a Dan Bernstein lens.
Stop saying it like that.
Why?
Because that presumes that I'm weird or odd or like, I guess I'll look at it instead of just sitting here and having fun. Just trust your own instincts.
No, I do. And first of all, don't be so defensive.
Well, because
the whole idea is
Bernstein
because
thing.
I've talked about
take
this.
the fun out of the movie.
No, I see. That's you saying that, not me. What I said is that we consume movies differently. And it's not a negative thing. It's just the reality of how things are. And when I hear you talk about a movie, I see things that I normally wouldn't see when you talk about them. So I said, all right, let's take a different approach with this movie. I knew you were excited about it. So it's not a negative thing. Don't be so defensive about it. It's just I'm looking for different things I normally wouldn't look for. Normally I go to shut down and just consume. And entertain me. If I'm not entertained, I didn't enjoy it. If I was entertained, I enjoyed it. So I looked for different things this time. That's all it was.
Okay. I think there's also a way to do it through multiple viewings where you can see it the first time and just let it wash over you.
Yeah, no,
and say,
for
how
sure.
did I feel? And then
but I don't have that time. I don't have that time to do that.
Things are too important. And
I'm not going to go.
Coach Matt, he's got film to break down.
I'm lucky to get to see a movie like that.
He's got things to do.
At the theater. There's too much going on. Yeah.
I got it.
So that's all it was. So don't take it the wrong way. That's not that's not how I mean it. It's just trying to view it differently so that we can have a conversation where I understand where you're coming from. Looking for things I think you might pick out of a movie. That's all.
That's fine. We will definitely get to that as we look at a Bears team that has found a couple of wins in unsustainable fashion. I don't think that's the one thing about this, that this is not it's great that they're 2-2.
Yes, absolutely.
A win on the road is a testament to everybody involved and the coaches and all of that. However, this is not a recipe for victory.
No, it's not.
If you say we're going to allow 240 yards rushing and win a game for the first time since I was 10 years old, since 1979, it's the first time the Bears have allowed that many yards rushing and won a game.
Wow.
You can't do that.
No, you can't.
But this does stop the streak, right? Didn't we say
it does.
That they were 0-23 when giving up, was it 23 or more points or 24 or more points?
I think 24 or more points.
It was 24 or more.
0-24, 0-25.
They did it. They gave up 24 points and
they still won.
They won.
Yeah, so and that's the thing. The way they beat the Cowboys, the way they beat the Raiders, and thanks to Geno Smith that wanted to throw interception after interception after interception, it's not a sustainable game plan and a way to run your offense or really have your defense function.
They know it. You can't be this bad at running and stopping the run. That's the biggest problem.
And win football games. But here's the thing. That's what the NFL is. We talked about this. They're in the blob. They're blob teams. The Raiders and the Bears are blob teams, and we'll see at the end of the season how much higher on the blob one team is over the other. And that's where it is. And that's fine because you're progressing towards something better, you hope. But this isn't like an offense that you're going to go out and replicate. This isn't the way you want your defense to go out and act. Right. So it's like we're not happy. We are happy they won. But we also need to be intelligent and look at it with a critical eye.
I think it is part of good coaching.
Yes, that's what I said yesterday.
I think it's part of good coaching to be a blob team that wins your blob games.
Yes,
I really
agree.
do. I think that you can separate yourself from other teams just by making the handful of plays in one of these games that decides win or loss, or in the case of last night, tie. So it's good. I think the best thing to come out of the game is the coaching staff having the confidence to bench their incumbent starting left tackle.
Yep.
He was benched, and now we will see.
Two moves. They made two moves.
They made two moves because they thought that Theo Benedict would be a much better bet at left tackle than Ozzie Trapillo would be. But now you got to decide. And this is what I want to see from here. Is Braxton Jones the swing tackle? Or is he inactive? Because that becomes a possibility too. I don't know if they want Braxton Jones to fill in at either spot. Maybe the move would be Darnell Wright moves over and Trapillo comes in at left. Like this is all got to be sorted out.
Braxton Jones was benched.
He was benched.
He was benched yesterday.
He was benched from the starting position.
And
but is he demoted to swing tackle with everybody healthy?
What's the best way to beat Braxton Jones?
Power. And what's the hard on the right side? What are you usually facing up against?
A speed guy.
On the right side.
Oh, the power guy.
Often the power guy.
Yeah, the power guy on the right side. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would bench him in the middle of a game and then say, all right, you're our backup on either side. That just doesn't make sense to me. Now, I mean, what's the other options? What else do you do? Is Darnell Wright the guy that you can move either side? I'm more comfortable with that, honestly, than Braxton Jones. I am. But can Darnell Wright stay healthy enough to do that? And then what's beyond Darnell Wright? Yeah, I know. It's a tricky situation. But again, really good job in the coaching staff to make that adjustment. Ozzie Trapillo may not, I'm not sure how he graded out, how he scored, but there was a difference in what Max Crosby was able to do from the third quarter, about midway through the fourth quarter.
I want the record to reflect, too, that Shamar Turner, defensive tackle rookie, also got in the game and was involved in some of those key run stops late that forced the 54-yard field goal. That was really interesting because as bad as the Bears' run defense was all game, those stops at the end on those last few plays, when you started looking at Ashton Genty, 2nd and 6, gets 3. They ended up it was a 3rd and 2, they called it, and it was a negative 1 yard. Those mattered. Those plays at the end, specifically forcing him back a yard before the field goal attempt.
Right, that's Kevin Byard, who did that, made that tackle on 3rd and 2, forced him back, which made the field goal a little bit longer, which helps, Blackwell make that block.
And Turner was in. Shamar Turner was playing.
So Kevin Byard, I just want to point out, hell of a game, 2 interceptions, had that huge tackle at the end there to force a longer field goal.
Yeah, missed the tackle on the long
tackle.
Run.
Yeah, Ashton Genty was kind of, I'm going to grab and then just slide down your legs and you can just kick out and keep going.
Well, even though Genty's a little dude.
Oh, he's powerful.
The legs don't stop.
No, yeah.
And
he showed that last night a couple times.
I don't think Byard approached that in the wrong way. Because that is what you're supposed to do, is grab the waist, slide down, and then wrap up and roll.
He broke out of it. You saw him kick his legs up and keep his feet moving. A couple times, he got the ball in the backfield and just disappeared in the blob of bodies and then came out. Because he's so tiny. He's so little. You made that comment, and then watching it last night when he stepped out, I was like, oh, my God. It's like a child out there.
The first time I saw him, I said, oh, my God, that's Ashton Genty?
Yeah.
But the low center of gravity.
Yeah, he runs really well. And a couple times, I said, gets lost in the blob and then pops out because those legs never stop running. So, yeah, Byard had the one missed tackle on the long run. I think still the longest NFL touchdown run this season from anyone, but had those 2 interceptions, playing center field and is reading what Geno Smith was doing. One thing I will point out about Caleb Williams, he didn't look very comfortable. He missed some throws again, inconsistent, but did enough to win the game on the road, which is key. Also, more importantly, unlike Geno Smith, Caleb Williams didn't hurt his team and allow the Raiders to take this game from the Bears. Geno Smith gave that game away. And that was really, really surprising with the veteran that he is and how he's thrown the ball around the field so far this year. Those 2 picks to Byard is unacceptable.
Well, especially the second one that was the same misread.
Yes.
The whole idea of a veteran quarterback doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Well, not last night.
You saw him make the same mistake twice. Same guy reading his eyes exactly the same way. And I thought the Bears were the better coached team.
Yes. Agreed.
Even
Agreed,
though that's
absolutely.
the great ageless Pete Carroll, I don't think he had a great day yesterday.
And the interception that Caleb threw was just a hell of a play from Max Crosby. And that's the book right there we're seeing right now is like, on Caleb Williams, just jump up. That ball's going to be low coming out of his hands.
A reminder that we're going to go in depth with all things Bears on Forward Progress today, including all of the injury updates we get from Hallis Hall, all the sound that we get, and we're going to probably hear what the plan is for how much reward do you get for winning these 2 games. How much time off is there going to be, and how much requirement is there going to be? Hey, that not yet, boys. Congratulations.
I think he booked suites in Vegas and said stay. On
Stay.
him. Yeah.
Hang out
for the week.
Head out, have a few drinks.
They deserve it. They beat
chill.
the Raiders.
I want to also say thanks to people who jumped on the special DBU yesterday. On a whim, we just decided to do live. We did a DBU live on a Sunday morning. Maddie texted me and said, hey, you want to go on and do a thing? I said, sure, let's do a thing. So be ready for that. The only way to do that is to make sure you set alerts for things like that. And you can configure that when you subscribe.
Yeah, and what you have to do is subscribe to both DBU and Forward Progress. So do both. So that way you're not confused about why are they on now and then where's the post game is always Forward Progress. But if you subscribe to both channels, you'll have all the alerts you need. So make it real simple on yourself.
The Chicago Cubs and the San Diego Padres will begin their series at Wrigley Field tomorrow. The Cubs have home field advantage in the situation, and I wanted to look at the final Fangraphs numbers to let us have some conclusions here about what the Cubs have been before we get into this matchup with the Padres. Usually you say a playoff team or a champion's got to have 3 5-win players on there. The Cubs only had 1 this year, amazingly. Pete Crow Armstrong finishes the year 5.4 WAR. Just a brilliant season. Should get MVP votes. He was a positive in runs above average as a base runner, an offensive player, and as one of the best overall defensive players in the entire game. Look at Nico Horner. 4.8 WAR. Also a plus in all 3 categories measured: offense, defense, and base running, which is pretty spectacular, especially considering the defensive value of a second baseman. Kyle Tucker, with all the time that he missed 26 games and finished at 4.5 wins above replacements. Certainly worth the investment. You hope it pays off in the playoffs now. Michael Bush at 3.5 WAR, Dansby Swanson 3.3, Ian Happ with a bit of a down year, though it upturned late. He had 2.8. Carson Kelly 2.6 WAR, Seiya Suzuki 2.6 WAR. Can you name the Cubs' best offensive player? Who is the most productive offensive player on the Cubs by weighted runs created plus?
Most productive,
and it's really not that close. Well, I guess it is with by weighted runs created plus. It is, but this guy was remarkable. Michael Bush.
I wasn't a guess, Bush. I should have just said it.
Michael Bush, 140 WRC plus, which is pretty awesome. And even though Moises Ballesteros in limited time at a 143, I am not counting him. Kyle Tucker came in at 136. Pete Crow Armstrong, 109. Horner, 109. Happ, 116. Carson Kelly, 115 with that hot start. Seiya Suzuki, 123. Miguel Amaya, limited time with a 124 WRC plus. So great work from that end. As far as the pitching goes, Matthew Boyd was the most valuable pitcher at 3.4 wins above replacement. Cade Horton at 2.2, despite being their ace pitcher and now having the fractured rib that's going to keep him out of this series. Now, I say this every year, but It is really important that I say this now, and really important that this is understood. Anybody who is saying otherwise, anybody who is selling you something other than what I'm about to tell you is going to make you dumber. And this is all you need to know. The most important aspect once you reach the playoffs is good fortune. It's luck. It's variance. It is whatever you want to call it. Very little that happened in the regular season in the last 6 months has any bearing whatsoever on what's going to happen now. In a short series, you can throw it all out the window. The 162 determines who the best players are, who the best teams are. It gives you an enormous single-season sample.
It's a ticket to the dance.
Now, none of that stuff matters.
Correct.
Variance, rules, everything now. Hit it over the fence, strike people out. Ball go far, team go far. Joe Sheehan said that 20 years ago. Hit it over the fence. Think good things are going to happen. Prevent the other team from hitting it over the fence, and turn ground balls, turn balls in play into outs. The defense matters now. That's why I think the Cubs have a good shot. They have a great defense. They don't have any bad defenders anywhere, and they have a couple of superior defenders out there. The Cubs' defense is really, really good, and that keeps them in this. But nothing is predictive. And this is also really important. Just listen to this and heed this. Being hot going into the playoffs doesn't matter. It has no effect on anything. It doesn't matter how, well, this guy's he's got to be in a groove going into the playoffs. It can flip off like a switch.
Yep.
And it happens, and it does happen. Please understand that. Seiya Suzuki's hitting the hell out of the ball. Ian Happ is playing great. It doesn't matter. Once the playoffs start, it doesn't matter. Momentum is tomorrow's starting pitcher.
Vin Scully.
And more, momentum is the quality of the other team's bullpen. Now that all the high-leverage bullpen arms can matter almost every single game. That's all that matters now. All that matters is now the variance. Can your good players be good? If you want to say that clutch is the opposite of choke, if good players can be themselves, and if bad players can be less bad, and mediocre players can be good, you can go win the World Series.
Yeah, you can. Anyone can win, and all 12 teams right now have a shot to win. You just have to go out and perform. And it's really simple. Ball go far, team go far. It's the easiest way to put it out there. The Cubs have 3 home games at Wrigley, all afternoon games with beautiful temperatures and sunshine the next 3 days.
And some east winds. That was the other thing I was looking at. And it's the one thing about being a local fisherman that I tend because they matter. And I can't, again, there's variance in that too that I've learned to live with. But for the most part, there are certain rules about what the winds do and where. So if I start looking at some of the forecasts here, Tuesday, northeast wind 10 to 15 miles an hour.
Okay.
That means the wind is blowing straight in. Wednesday, east wind 10 to 15 miles an hour. That means it's coming in from right field, but you should be okay with left field. Thursday, east-southeast winds. So that's good. That means blowing out from the right foul pole to the left foul pole. That is Thursday. And Friday, south winds.
Yeah, well, they won't have to play. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Right?
I'm just saying, in case there's a rain out, in case something happens, I'm just giving you the wind patterns because that's really key for Wrigley Field. And if you like to wager, if you start looking at overs and unders, it's the wind patterns that define how Wrigley plays.
So you mentioned Pete Crow Armstrong had a 30-30 season, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. The second Chicago Cubs player to ever do that. The other was, any guess?
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa is correct. we're looking through. There are 6 Major League Baseball teams that have never had a 30-30 guy.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Wouldn't know where to begin, but I'm just going to tell you. The Cardinals have never had a 30-30 guy.
Okay.
The closest was Ray Langford in 98.
My guy!
31 home runs, 26 stolen bases.
My guy for the Midwest League. Good dude.
The Padres have never had a 30-30 guy. Will Myers, 2016, 28 home runs, 28 stolen bases. The Rays have never had a 30-30 guy. B.J. Upton was the closest in 2012, 28 home runs, 31 stolen bases. The Tigers have never had a 30-30 guy. 1985, Kirk Gibson, 29 home runs, 30 stolen bases, which is bizarre that he had the bases and not the home runs.
Wow. Okay.
The Twins have never had a 30-30 guy. Corey Koski, 2001, 26 home runs, 27 stolen bases. And the 6th team to have never had a 30-30 guy, your Chicago White Sox.
And the closest was
24 years ago.
30. I'm trying to think. Tim Raines wasn't ever close. Ray Durham never. No. Who?
2001, Maglio.
He had 30 steals?
31 and 25. 31 home runs, 25 stolen bases.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know he was that close. Good for him. Your White Sox leader in WAR this year, can you name him?
Minecraft.
Colson Montgomery.
Oh, man.
2.6 wins above replacement. A nice year. Certainly at age 23 is on track to be a pretty damn good baseball player. He ended up with a WRC plus of 129 to lead the team over Kyle Teal's 125. Kyle Teal at 1.9 WAR. The other material players, Miguel Vargas, 1.4. Chase Mydroth, the man you call Minecraft, at 1.3. As far as the pitchers go, you had Shane Smith at 2.2, and then the now departed Adrian Hauser. I mean, he's not dead. He's just not on the team anymore, at 1.7. So they improved by 19 games, 19 wins.
That's great.
It is. That is a lot.
It's really, really good.
That's a lot, and I predicted that. I didn't know there'd be that big a number, but I knew they'd be better because they went from bad, unlucky, and stupid to bad, less stupid, and slightly less unlucky.
Yeah.
And that was the difference that made.
That's a huge flip for
it really
one
is.
season. So
it really is.
Congratulations on that.
It might be hard to get excited, but this is the buy the dip time. Last year was the buy the dip time. But as a fan, if you've been ignoring the White Sox, and maybe you went to a few games this year and you got to eat well, have the entire park to yourself, you could, if you wanted, you could probably go to the bathroom and use every urinal for every trip if you wanted, if that kind of thing floats your boat. But this was the year to say, hey, I was there to see Colson Montgomery establish himself as a major league player and as a rightfully ranked prospect for actually doing some of what he did. The dude swings hard, and when he hits the ball, it does go far. So he plays an important position. He's going to be a build-around type of player. So go ahead and buy yourself a poster. If you want to go get yourself go to Sox Fest and get a game-worn Colson Montgomery jersey and say that you got it when you could, go ahead. No one's going to begrudge you.
Yeah, and you certainly can get out to the guaranteed rate field.
No, it's just rate field.
Rate field. You can certainly get out there, and always great opportunities for good ticket prices and food options and beer options if you're into that. So it's always a good time to get out and watch a baseball game. Plus, I like going there just because of the parking. It's just so easy to get in, get out. It's just like going down to Wrigley is such a hassle. That's why we like going up to Brewers games when the Cubs are there.
Wrigley's not a hassle for me. You just walk.
Well, yeah, no. Well, okay, it's not a hassle for you,
right?
Yeah, I basically live in southern Wisconsin.
Why don't you just park in front of my house?
Well, because you never let me. Remember that one time I showed up and you're like, hell no, get off my lawn. And I was like, okay.
And I called Immigration and Border Patrol.
ICE was chasing me.
Showed up with everything. Oh, did you see them chase the guy on the bike?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I saw enough video, though,
okay.
of them walking down Wacker.
Okay, they're on Wacker.
Okay.
They're on Wacker, and a delivery guy like a Uber Eats or something, whatever, a delivery guy, and they weren't even looking. Some guy, one of the ICE guys yells, "Get him!" It was awful. Like they just saw a brown guy on a bike, and they yelled, "Get him!" And all these big fat fucks go chasing after him. The guy turns on his bike, goes through them, and people are cheering him on, and they're they're huffing and puffing after him, and the guy got away.
So just called him out for
being brown.
Okay.
Watch the video. It reminds me, the famous.
I'll pull it up.
The video of the lizard running away from the snakes on the island. I think there's a version of Marshawn Lynch.
I'll go take a look at it.
Yeah, there's a famous Blue Earth or whatever it is of David Attenborough and the lizard running away from all of these snakes, and you're rooting for the lizard.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this was. The guy was like, all he was on his bike delivering something, and they literally turn and they see a brown person, and somebody yells, "Get him!" And one of the guys with his big Kevlar vest is wearing a cowboy hat, a big white cowboy hat. Boy. It was great.
Yeah, no, I saw a video today walking in. I walked past CBS, and they have the giant outside screen, and they're showing whatever is on. And the other day I saw Mary Kay Kleist Almighty doing the weather, but they had video of the ICE guys, and I saw the guys in a broat, and then there was guys marching down Wacker with their vests on, and
I know.
Their masks, and I didn't see the cowboy hat.
Yep, it was right here. Like, we can see that spot from our vantage point here. Like, thank you for popping in and protecting everybody from street vendors.
Right, going after the worst of the worst.
You take away the popsicle guy. Because that popsicle guy he was a bad hombre.
Yeah, college loan forgiveness and $50,000 bonus, so you can protect us.
There you go. Now I know how excited you are about the Bulls roster. But let me tell you first about Chicago Window Guys and Russ Armstrong, the owner of Chicago Window Guys. He was out at the house. He's going to be doing another series of windows in my home because, oh my God, we need it. And you can really tell the difference. And I'm telling you, from my experience, the room where we spend all our time was the first one that Russ did. And that room just...
That's the bedroom?
No, not at my old age. But this room, our main kitchen, great room area where everybody is and we watch TV, and this is, even if I'm in the kitchen, I can see the TV. That room has all Chicago Window Guys windows all the way around, and it cost me less to heat it and cool it. Just because the windows are so much better.
That's huge.
And they slide better, they work better, they're just better. And now he's going to do the upstairs, and you should have Russ out too. He comes over, he'll give you the estimate. All the windows locally made here in Chicago. There's no subcontracted labor. That's important. The crew works for Russ. So the same people that install my windows are the people who are going to be installing your windows. So don't forget, I know it's going to be 90 degrees out today, but it's going to be cold soon. It's coming. So don't wait. Replace those old windows. So call Russ. And maybe it's just like we did. You can do it in phases. If it's a bedroom, if it's the main room, whatever you want to do right now, he can do. And he's going to get you the best price. You don't worry about all these gimmicks that you hear about. So whether your windows are old, cracked, falling apart, or broken, or you just want new ones, good ones, Russ at 847-302-9171. ChicagoWindowGuys.com. 847-302-9171. There's 5-star reviews you can check out at ChicagoWindowGuys.com. So here it is, the reveal.
All right, the Bulls roster.
The big reveal. Now, I'm hoping, when we talk about the Bulls, I am hoping soon to have an official announcement for you, if you are a Bulls fan, about something special here at 312 Sports. So keep listening for that. Here's the roster. Tell me what you think.
Okay,
they got 19 players in camp.
Yep.
Camp begins tomorrow.
Okay.
It goes through October 5th. The preseason opener is going to be against the Cavaliers on October 7th. These are the invites to camp. Kobe White, Emmanuel Miller.
Okay.
That's a 2-way contract. Josh Giddey, Javon Carter, still here. Dalen Terry. Yuki Kawamura. He's so much fun. Listed at 5'8", 159. No way he's 5'8". Nikola Vucevic. Ayo Dosunmu. Zach Collins. Kevin Herter. Matas Buzelis. Julian Phillips. Mamadou Gaye, who is here on a camp contract. Noah Asing.
Like overnight? Like an overnight camp
no,
contract?
just here in camp. Noah Asing, you're the rookie. Jalen Smith, Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro, Patrick Williams, and as a two-way player, Lachlan Ulbrich, the Australian strongman.
Okay.
Pretty much all he can do is run into people.
All right.
Yeah. So
what did you want me to do?
Feel something? Nothing? I know you're not Mr. NBA.
No.
That I'm going to be handling most of the round ball stuff is going to be on me. But yeah.
I mean, I'll watch games now because of this. So, thank you.
The good news is the East is wide open.
Okay. Then keep telling yourself that.
It really is.
I know, I'm just saying, keep telling yourself that.
I am.
I just heard you read the roster.
I'm going to keep telling myself that. But
right.
Yeah, we'll see if Josh Giddey can play like he did in the second half of last year.
How many superstars are on this team?
None.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
There's 0 superstars on this team.
Right.
That is the correct, honest answer.
Okay.
That's the unfiltered answer.
All right.
0. But if you're looking at the next tier of really good NBA players who can affect a game, Kobe White, maybe Matas Buzelis.
Okay. So 1 for sure.
And second half Giddey. If you get that Josh Giddey, who's averaging near a triple-double, he was putting up LeBron numbers.
Okay, and so
without the defense.
So that probably gets you out of the play-in tournament?
No.
In the playoffs, or does it keep you in the
play-in?
In the play-in.
Unless something weird happens in the East, moves to be made by the deadline, see if they can move Vucevic out of there because he's bad.
You got one guy that is the second-tier NBA player, and you have one guy that put up LeBron-like numbers, and you hope he can do that again, and it still gets you in the same spot you're in now.
Unless Matas Buzelis takes another jump, which is possible.
Does that get you out of the play-in tournament?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because of the condition of the East.
Okay. Yeah. So you need 2 of your guys to play well above their norm, their average, what we know them to play like. One guy to stay consistent, and you may get out of the play-in tournament.
Correct.
Okay. No, that's a good preseason evaluation of where they're at. Can't wait. When's the first game?
The first preseason game is October 7th.
October 7th. So that's coming up. Because next week's the 3rd, 4th, right? Friday, somewhere around there.
This week.
So maybe a Monday. Is that October 7th is a Monday? Maybe. Sound right? All right.
Here we go.
All right, I'll watch. I'm gonna watch games with you. I'm excited. We'll go to a Bulls game together. That's what we'll do.
I'm down for. I'm gonna go to multiple this year.
Yeah, no, I'll go with you.
I'm gonna go to multiple.
It's fun.
I've been told we're welcomed. I have been instructed by the Bulls media department.
That's good. No, that's good.
They just said, hey.
That's great.
Yeah, they're not.
No, they've been emailing and doing things. So thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Very receptive to 312 Sports.
Yes.
And we appreciate their receptiveness. And I at least am going to be enthusiastically covering your Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, and I'll be watching.
You'll be watching me, or you'll be watching
them?
No,
watching you talk about it, but no, I'll watch games.
Keeping a close eye on me, huh?
I will watch games. I want to see if they can get out of the play-in tournament.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited about it.
So I want the record to reflect on this for everybody who says, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? We have covered on this very episode Bears, Cubs, Sox.
White Sox.
Yeah.
And Bulls.
Oh,
my.
Now, I have not watched Blackhawks training camp. I have not seen the stylings of new coach Jeff Blashill. It's spelled Blashill? Okay. By all accounts, he's the
old TV guy.
No, that's Jeff Blanzy.
Oh, he's not the coach.
No.
Okay. So it's not Jeff Blanzy.
It is not. It's
okay.
Jeff Blashill.
Hang on. Gotta fix my notes.
Note that. So we shall see where they are with Frank Nazar and Connor Bedard and
Frank Nazar, old score producer?
No. Who are you thinking of?
Oh, I think DJ Nozar.
Who's that?
Wasn't he an old score producer? He worked the morning show, I think. You said Frank Nazar.
Yeah, I wouldn't know DJ Nozar if he walked in. That wasn't the guy who used to sleep on the floor.
No. No, he was good. This guy was good.
What was the guy who used? No, the guy who used to sleep on the floor. He had the curly hair.
That's my guy.
The Italian
Sal.
guy. Sal what?
Sal Strezzo.
Yes.
It was Cy.
Cy Strezzo.
Yeah.
Yes.
He worked at a restaurant, and the restaurant was called Cy's, and the owner didn't want people to think he was the owner, so he made him change his name tag to Sal.
That's hilarious. The worst thing that could possibly happen is somebody thinks that kid's the owner.
I've kept in touch with Cy. Cy's
Really?
he's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good dude.
What's he doing?
I used to come in. He's doing sales, and I used to come in to do
Sal with sales.
the morning show, the early morning show, and he was doing overnights. And so we'd always interact, and he'd help out with some production stuff for
But he'd be lying
Psycho.
on the floor like he was dead.
Well, he'd be sleeping. It was
But
overnights. There was nothing to do.
But right on the floor in the middle of the office.
He would go under the
Table?
board. Yeah.
No, he was in my office.
And then he had a video game system he'd bring with him, hook it up to the TV, play overnight. So, no. Dude, he worked overnights. Like,
I know, but
man, he's lucky he didn't throw himself out a window.
But just like I thought I came in, I thought there was a body in there.
And then he worked at Dublin's when I had my apartment right there at Newberry Plaza, which is right in the parking lot. So we'd go in and have a couple beers and see him. But yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude. But so Frank Nazar is a hockey player?
Yeah.
Okay. So DJ Nozar was an old producer, not the same guy. And
No.
Jeff Blanzy is not the head coach of the
Correct.
Blackhawks. Okay.
Correct. So there's
Got it now.
There's your hockey thoughts.
Yes. Hockey.
There'll be I'll have some though. I will. I'm actually going to have some hockey thoughts.
You're not going to like do nuts and bolts and break stuff down, are you?
Oh, when F1 enters the zone, F2 comes back, begins cycling the puck from corner beneath the goal line.
Yeah.
And then F the D1 to D2 must have D to D passing. I can do some of that.
D to D he did the Bears game yesterday.
D to D passing.
Oh, D to D passing. Okay.
That's Spiroditis.
My bad.
Boy, was that broadcast. Okay, can I just address something real quick, too?
Yes, please do, because I was hoping you were going to yesterday.
There were several commenters saying, well, why doesn't Bernstein talk about how awful that broadcast was? Of course it was awful. They have like 3 cameras. It's the D-level CBS broadcast. It's not going to be good. They don't have the cameras. They don't have the computing power. They don't have the good truck. They should be happy they got mic flags. Be happy that they've got headsets that work. I don't expect anything out of a broadcast where they don't have the resources or the bandwidth to do what the top broadcasts do.
On Friday, you mentioned who the broadcast team was, and you lost me at Spiroditis.
He's fine.
No, he's fine, but I didn't hear you say Adam Archuleta.
I did.
I know you did, but I didn't hear it. And then when they go to the broadcast, and I must have missed their introduction or seeing them, and he kept calling him Arch. And I was like, who the hell is this guy Arch? Like, I was trying to figure out who Arch was. I didn't know it was Adam Archuleta until they went to they showed them in the booth.
He's got a little Adam Harris in him, doesn't he?
He does, a little bit. Young, handsome-looking guy.
He's not as good looking as Adam Harris, though.
He's very, very handsome fella.
Yeah, but Adam Harris did, because Adam Harris still looks like he's 12, even though he
does.
Was he 40 now?
He's not that old.
He's probably pushing 40.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, he's a good man living a good
I'm not
life.
saying he's not a good man, but he's probably close.
Looks very happy. Very happy in life.
I would say close. He's mid-30s.
Talked to Adam a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, so I didn't know it was Arch, but whatever. It's just to me they're better than Tom Brady. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I saw the ad again telling me he knows football.
Oh, is he going to people's houses still?
Going to people's houses
with ice.
Yeah.
No, he has ice behind him. Knocks on the door.
He's got the big fat bastards with their machine
with the cowboy
guns,
hats on.
Oh, get him!
Yeah,
get him!
Like we have Tom Brady go first. That way they'll open the door to
that
get football
man's
knowledge.
Selling popsicles. Get him! Hey, heard down the street there's a woman selling mangoes. Hey, I better send her to Costa Rica or somewhere.
Well, the worst of the worst, man.
Ship her away. Send her to Uganda. What was the crime, officer? Selling popsicles.
Being brown,
selling ice cream.
That's the problem.
Bastards.
All right, so yeah, it was a bad broadcast. You knew it was going to be a bad broadcast going into it, but it's still better than Tom Brady.
Yes, indeed. So Saturday, I got up, and I wasn't sure because I was not
Wait, you weren't sure if you were up?
No, I was sure I was up, but I wasn't sure about One Battle After Another. No, I really like Paul Thomas Anderson. Boogie Nights is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I just think he is a unique filmmaker with a special talent, not just the famous long tracking shots, but his ability to understand when the camera finds moments of truth and how to get the best out of actors, how to get the best out of ensembles, sometimes in these sprawling efforts. And I said, all right, if he's directing, I'm going to see it. But I saw the trailers and I'm like, oh no, he's out of his element. This just doesn't look right. And then people said, hey, you got to go see this movie. So I did. And I bought my ticket. I got a senior ticket. Got my $1 off.
What's the scene? Is it 55?
I don't know. What are they going to do? Check?
Well, no, but it's saying, is it
the 15-year-old scanning my phone isn't going to card me?
So you saved $1 though?
I was getting a senior ticket, sure. Okay. Why not? And I got my seat. The one thing, it's almost a 3-hour movie.
Yes.
And including previews, it is 3 hours.
Yeah.
So my worry is, especially, I was worried about
falling asleep.
No, coffee, because usually I drink a lot of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, pee your pants.
And I'm on a diuretic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do espresso. I'm just going to do really intense coffee with less liquid. He's my guy who brings the coffee
Less
over.
liquid?
Yeah, less liquid. Comes over to make my espresso
He's
for
your
me.
barista?
Yeah, write him down. So and I just said, all right, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, even if I don't have to go to the bathroom, because I don't want to get up in the middle of the movie. I don't want to miss anything. It's just what happens when you're old. You got to time these things out. And I thought that this movie was fantastic. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes that felt like a blink to me. The movie was, I said, oh my God, that was it. It's over already. From the moment this movie starts, the energy that propels you through here, not just the way it's edited, the overall pacing, it never relents, even in the quiet moments, driven by a remarkable score.
Yeah, unbelievable.
By Radiohead guitarist Johnny Greenwood, is that his name?
Sure.
It's a Spartan use of single instruments and like skeletal piano and guitar and tones that carries this movie. That just what I love.
That's correct, Johnny Greenwood.
It really, the score is so important in this film. But I know there's A-list actors in this. But some of the most significant performances are by people I had to look up. Leonardo DiCaprio was wonderful. Sean Penn will get a nomination for this movie.
Yep.
He better.
For supporting, yes,
he will
absolutely.
get a supporting nomination because he's absolutely brilliant. The timeliness of the film, what it has to say, it's coming at a time when it's desperately needed. But it's not preachy. One thing about PTA is he's not like didactic, but it is saying more than it feels like it's trying to say. And much like Tarantino and much like the Coen brothers at their best, this movie doesn't tell you whether or not to laugh. There are no cues. There are some wonderfully comic moments, painfully comic moments, darkly so. But you're not instructed. Laugh if you feel like laughing. There are some explosive shock laughs. There are some nervous laughs. It is a black comedy. It is also an absolute rip-roaring nonstop adventure with one of the greatest car chases that I've ever seen filmed.
The way that was filmed
unbelievable.
Was unbelievable. And the capturing that location and deciding to use that location was just fucking phenomenal.
And the foreshadowing. Like there are two moments in the movie, and I will not spoil these, and I'm sure there are more if I saw it again. There are two moments of foreshadowing where he tells you something is coming, but when it happens, it's still so spectacular that you don't see it coming in the way that it does.
Yeah.
One is hilarious. The other is just awesome. But I would put this, I've always thought that my favorite car chases just off the top of my head, were the Steve McQueen movie Bullet,
Okay.
the Tarantino movie Death Proof
Okay.
with the muscle car chase, and French Connection. This one is right up there. It's a little shorter, but it is so uniquely filmed.
That's what it is. It's the uniqueness in the
my
filming
God,
that is just it's
I've
unbelievable.
never
seen anything like that.
That kind of terrain
No.
used in this way.
It was great. Just great.
And there's even a little bit of Bugs Bunny Roadrunner in it.
pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like
But
there's something cartoony.
Yeah, but no, because there's a comical approach to it with a very tense, a very intense type feeling and emotion, without giving away the scene. But the drivers in it, it's very tense. I want to give a mention to Teyana Taylor.
Oh, just a ball of fire.
Regina Hall, obviously, just always fantastic, and Chase Infinity. Those three women, unbelievable in the film. I mean, outside of, you have Leo, you have Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro. Those three women were just phenomenal. The writing, the acting was great. So I'm glad you mentioned the car chase, because that was one I was like, all right, Bernstein's on this. I mean, it's just like, it really gets you. The score,
I see what you're doing with your hand because you're like,
I felt like I was in the car.
And I was, they talk about the edge of your seat. Like I was literally grabbing the handrest.
Holding on.
I was almost standing up.
And one of the theaters where,
scene.
all the theaters now where your feet can go up, you can recline.
Right.
And mine are down.
Oh.
My feet are on the ground.
Right.
I'm just like the whole time.
Yep.
I
was
like, come on, no.
Right. I felt like I was like almost in a boat, like
a boat.
in a boat, and then
With
like,
ice.
I was like, oh, what, like hitting waves.
And then back to the music though too, because more so than just the original score and the single instruments was the song choices that were used. The soundtrack of it was so great, and it got me at first because there's the first song they do it in. Sean Penn is still talking, so there's dialogue, and they have lyrical soundtrack still underneath him. Where normally I would be like, oh, that's annoying. Like, why is there still singing when he's like, there's dialogue happening here? But it all just worked together, and they did that throughout the movie, where the soundtrack continues while there's dialogue, but it's just down enough to add to the scene and not distract from the talking. So it was really good, really really good. So I appreciate that about it, and the car chase too. But it was funny when I didn't expect it to be funny. Which was great.
I love that. I love the fact that a director respects the audience enough to allow me to decide whether or not I want to laugh and not tell me.
Because seeing the trailers for it multiple times, I didn't anticipate walking into that, sitting down and laughing. Like, I expected to feel and to have some kind of emotion brought out, but I didn't anticipate laughing as much as I did. And Benicio del Toro should get some kind of nod too.
How much fun is he?
So much fun. Because again, you meet his character, you think he's one thing, and he's deeper and he's more complex, and there's a lot more to it. And then when they start to peel back the layers of what he's doing, it's like, holy shit, this is insane. And my favorite part about it, though, and this doesn't spoil anything because you see it in the trailer, is what he does, like up front, as a sensei. It's just great. Like, why did you add that as one of the elements to his character? Because it just adds so much to it when it's all out there for you after you see the whole thing. It's just great. It's really, really good.
I want to credit an acting performance too that I thought was tonally in a way that was a structural piece.
Can I guess?
To the movie.
Can I guess who it was?
Yes.
It was the guy that does all the interrogations.
Yes. Jim Ratterman.
Unbelievable.
James
fucking great.
Not really an actor either.
So good.
He was at former Secret Service, and there was another governmental department for which he worked. When he's interrogating,
no shit, right?
When he's interrogating the high school students, the look and the tone. I thought that if they did it wrong, if they made it more sort of Hollywood, that would have been it would have been a perfect role for the guy from Mad Men who plays Tony Stark's dad in the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Slattery, John Slattery.
Yes, John Slattery.
But this guy it's almost like John Slattery, but real.
But
because this guy James Ratterman was a backbone.
He was awesome
for some of the tone of the movie.
He was so good. But here's the key to that, though. What was so successful not just his delivery and approach to it, and obviously his life experience, but the way it was filmed.
No jokes now?
Where it wasn't, an interrogation room. And, you see that, guy walks in and you're at the metal table and they're handcuffed and he sits down. He's got a file. It's
good cop, bad cop. He turns off the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're seated already and it's all close-ups. Like you don't see the room. All you see is like from here up.
Yeah. It reminded me.
It's very personal. And it's just, it brings you into the emotion, the connection that they're having at that moment.
Some of those interrogation scenes reminded me, do you remember the movie Public Enemy about John Dillinger?
Yes.
That was Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
And it was Stephen Lang. That similarly, in those situations, you're talking about those sort of across the table emotional moments where you're seeing the faces of these. And this is what I mean about PTA being able to find some of these truths. A lot of close-ups. Mm-hmm. And the scene in which Willa and Lockjaw are in the church.
Yeah, great name, too.
But, of course, Colonel Stephen Lockjaw.
Yeah.
It was loosely based on Vineland by the great Thomas Pynchon, but and I think the more I see it, the more I'm going to appreciate it. But I walked out of there, and it stayed with me too. That I can tell in movies affect me. Like later on, if I'm still like getting images, and like before I go to sleep, I'm still hearing that soundtrack and hearing things from it, like that one got into my head.
Yeah,
I will definitely see it multiple more times, but as many slices of pie as I can give that movie, one battle after another, go see it.
Yeah, it was funny. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, not interested. And then I saw it a couple more times and I was like, all right, you know what? I think this might have something. And then when you first mentioned it, that you weren't very interested.
I was really doubtful.
I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Forget it. I want to see it. I think it's going to be great. And I'm really glad that we went and saw it Saturday night. So the thing, that's what I was talking about before. The things that I noticed and watched and picked up on, again, were more of like, I know where Dan's going and where Dan's. That's what I meant by that. So it wasn't like.
So I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, a compliment. Yes.
Okay.
We consume things differently, and so I took a different approach to what I was going to notice and watch, and not just get sucked into the story and watch the characters and feel the ride. I wanted to observe different things. So that's what I meant by that.
Yeah. Well, that was it. I think one can do both. I do.
It's a lot of work though.
Also, too,
it's a lot of work. I didn't have popcorn, and it was just, it's like, wow.
Do you notice the multiple invocations of Chekhov's rule? Chekhov's rule being, don't mention the shotgun over the fireplace if it's not going to be fired by the end of the scene.
Yeah.
Especially the little tracker things, the number of times the rifle in the Cabela's bag.
Exchanged,
right.
And
Where is it? Who's got it?
Who asks about it?
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then, so you that's always something you say, like, okay, noted. There's got to be closure on that. There's got to be closure on this. You have all these open items.
Another thing that was great about that particular scene when they're on the rooftops.
Okay.
And
I was laughing. So the way the skateboard guys moved.
Yes, it's really that's special talent.
But it's like Cirque du Soleil,
yes.
and they filmed it in silhouette.
And then
you just see these literal jumping shadows. And don't get this is a spoiler.
No, I'm not.
But this was my second point about foreshadowing. In the car chase you had but in that scene,
the same thing. But what I loved about it, though, well, not only the way it ends, which is fucking fantastic, but he took the rule of comedy, where it's
rule of 3 or rule of 17.
Yes. And it kept, and I was like, oh my God, it kept going.
Like, where is
going?
This
and I'm like, what was happening?
What he was doing was building that tension in.
Yeah.
So you knew something was about to happen.
And the way that
better.
Scene ends, it's even better.
The way it delivers,
because if it was like 2 jumps, it's like
right, like it's further behind each time.
It's really well thought out.
Yeah, it is. It's that's the craft. That's filmmaking.
Very good.
That's
so
what
that will win things and hopefully a lot of things because it was really well worth it.
It should. And you say, why aren't you talking more bears? We're going to.
We have Forward Progress.
We have all the bears coming up on Forward Progress in just a moment.
So if I'm looking at this correctly, your guy Hampton is 11th overall in the NFL in rushing, and if I think I have this correct, he's 2nd in rookies. Thanks to the Bears defense, Ashton Gentry has jumped him on rushing yards for rookies. He now leads him by 12 rushing yards total after that performance that the Bears allowed yesterday. Before that, he would have been it would have been not even close between leading rushing yards and then second. But that huge performance, big game last night for Ashton Genty.
Damn, Bears going to ruin the bet.
Going to ruin your bet. But hey, he's still there as the second rookie right now and 11th overall in the NFL, so really good.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. A reminder, we've got a terrific jam-packed forward progress coming your way as we always do. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.